What's going on, guys? Sam with Sam's Man Tree Service, and we have a new dump trailer. I take a lot of pride in my dump trailer research and videos because one of my first few videos that was a hit was my dump trailer. I had a custom built one with a 6-foot flatbed up front so we can haul a mini and logs. It was super cool, and we've gone through about 4 or 5 dump trailers. We still have a few, so I want to do a video on why we bought this one because this one's a little bit different, and what to look for and what we like that Diamond C did, and what to change when you do order one or buy one. So let me go over the trailer real quick. This is a Diamond C low pro trailer, dump, whatever. This is a 14-footer. Now we went with a 14-footer, save some weight, save some maneuverability. The axles move up significantly higher in towards the tongue of the trailer, so you save a little bit of tongue weight as well. So I've never owned a 14. It's only been a 10 and a 16s I've owned. So something I like about the Diamond Cs, their paint job's phenomenal. Look at like Texas Pride or other brands, their paint jobs fall apart. I've had Diamond C for years. There's my old one right there. That thing's been, I mean, it's barely any rust on anything. So Diamond C does a really good job painting these things. Big V-box here. This is really nice. We added a second battery. I do that on every dump trailer. They have standard telescopic hoist. Very good idea to do. Really like that they do that. My other one has a telescopic as well. They went with a 2-speed jack. Super nice. Has a little drop leg right there. Super nice. They went with these cables. I don't like the cables, but they don't give us any problems per se. I think they're just a pain in the butt. If they had a swivel hook on them, I'd be a little bit different, but they don't. They come with a step. The tarp's standard. So on Diamond C's, the tarp and the telescopics are usually standard. We have 7K axles. Dun, dun, dun. That might be a problem, but I will explain later. Lippert roller suspension. So that is different, and that is a huge upgrade if you ask me. 3-way gate. I'm going to tell you right now, they're handy when you need it, but they're also a burden when you need it. We went with I believe these are 32-inch sides. And the 32-inch sides are really good because of this. And this is why I have the mini here. We noticed there was a big problem loading. Everyone knows if you can't see over what you're loading, you usually guys will just drop them. If you could stack efficiently and see what you're doing, look how much I could see into that trailer. That's about right where my head is for if I was operating. So I could see 3/4 of the trailer. I could stack the logs nicer. I can haul more. I can use the space I have better versus just dumping them in and hoping they stack nicely. Everyone knows you can haul more if you stack them nicer. So we had a visibility issue. The 42-inch sides, both my machines lift over there. But what we were noticing was an issue with stacking logs and getting it filled efficiently and filling the gaps. If you can't see what you're doing, you can't do what you're doing. So some guys might say, well, why don't you go with the 20-inch sides that are down to here? Those are a little low. Yeah, you could stack a little bit better, but you're only getting 1 row of logs. You could probably get 2, 2.5, maybe 3 on this. So that's the reason we went with that. Let me show you something. And I tell everyone this. I wish I told people more often. I haven't told the internet this, but when you get a new dump trailer, I highly recommend you go to a weld shop and you have them add more hinges. 2 more hinges. Have them add them. The hinges bend. They're made out of softer steel. They're not that heavy duty. Hinges bend. And all it can take, guys, and people don't realize this. Granted, these are shorter doors and lighter doors. All it can take is that dincy little chain they give you. They give you chains in there to hook to the rail. All it takes is that chain to come undone, or this little thing. Do not trust these. If these fail, you're wasting your entire door. So I've had dump trailers go up, and that might fail and swing out and just like hit a log. Now your hinges are bent. Don't rely on just 2 hinges. These doors can take an abuse and they'll get hit, and it's no bueno. It's not good at all. The other thing I will say, if you own a dump trailer with a 3-way gate, We do this on almost all of ours. We never really use the spreader gate, guys. We always have a skid steer available. It's kind of I don't want the option. I understand why they do it, though. I take this to a weld shop and have them weld this. You don't have to weld the whole thing. You stitch it. I never want this gate coming undone because, look, this is a big complaint I had with Diamond C. I think they actually responded to a video I did about it. See that nice curve? Yeah, this thing can pop out easily. One of your guys steals this pin or uses it on accident, that gate will bust up and pop this open. Or if you're loading and this gets hit and the pin pops out, you know, you're running a skid steer or something, this pin pops out. If this gate opens and you dump, now you're busting these open. So if you don't use the spreader gate, weld it shut. You can even cut these pins off and pull this out. This is a solid rod. You could save yourself probably 60, 70 pounds of weight. And I know that for a fact because I just did it on mine. I pulled it out and that bar is heavy. You save yourself a little bit of weight. Yeah, it's not much, but it doesn't matter. But I tell you what, weld this. If you're not going to use it, weld this. There's no reason to risk ruining a gate. And then, like I said earlier, do not trust these. This is made out of cheap steel. The spring pops out, whatever. Now you're trusting that to hold. It's a flat side. You know, that's my big issue with all this stuff. It's flat sides. You can use it for convenience, but always clip it. Another thing we do, we haven't done it yet. We're starting to do it, but we did it on the one side. We tie these walls, and all the dumpsters and such will have like braces here. Like people who have dumpsters, they'll put a brace here, like a triangle brace, just angled like this so material still falls off. We're going to be doing that to this. We had one of our guys bust a sidewall out on the one trailer. He was loading a really big log, and I don't know if the grapple drifted or something, but it busted the sidewall out. If you tie this together, even with a little gusset, it will help immensely. So double your hinges. Don't rely on these. So let me show you our other trailer's loading angle, and I'll raise this up and show you some features underneath. Look at that loading. You can't see anything. If you tilt the grapple down, you can barely even see what the grapple's got in it. So that's why we went with the shorter sides. Let me show you this gusset we did. Double hinges. As you can tell, we've broken the original hinges a few times. And you know, I know what people are gonna say. Oh, why is this opening? What's going on? It's just stuck. I know what people are gonna say. Oh, you guys are rough. You guys are this. Listen, this is a rough industry. And we've had this trailer for like 4 years. It's not, but this is what we did here. We actually did this yesterday, tie this wall in, because after the guy loaded it last week, this wall was bowed out. Now I get it, you know, we're lifting big logs and stuff, but what are you using this for? This is not going to affect us in any way other than if we were loading a big machine, which we do not do that here. So this is going to just tie in the wall and help us a lot. As you can tell, the trailer's been in pretty good shape for 4 years of logs. So we don't abuse our stuff, but stuff does get abused sometimes. Big difference. All right, so on this trailer, there's some upgrades we did do and didn't do. So on almost all my trailers, I do 12-inch centers. These are 16. So that's a big kind of red flag, to be honest, because everyone knows these members will get bent. Everyone knows if you're loading heavy stuff like we do, you can mess these up. Honestly, it's not worth ordering and waiting and paying extra for that. We've been realizing that with these dump trailers, no matter how much you build them, no matter how much you edit them or customize them, they can be good, but I don't know if it's quite worth it anymore, guys. You guys know how many dump trailers I've been through. And so a trailer like this, depending on what you get and all this, I mean, you could get these for $11,000 to $13,000, $14,000, $15,000. You know what that trailer cost me? That trailer cost me $27,000. I could buy 2 of these. I paid just under, I think, 13 grand for this. I could buy 2 of these for that. Now, the benefits of that one are you got the 7 gauge, you got the heavier walls, the heavier floor, you got the cross members, and you got 10K axles. Okay, well, a good point one of our workers put up to me is, yeah, you went with the heavier walls, the taller walls, you went with the cross members, and you went with the heavier axles. Congratulations, you now have a 6,700 pound dump trailer. And you bought those bigger axles to haul more logs, but in reality, you're not hauling much more. That trailer is 6,700 pounds, got 20K GVW, so you're able to haul 13K, let's say. Yeah, this one's able to haul 10. Like, come on. It's not really, it weighs less, it needs less. So, in my opinion, buying anything above standard, which this is a pretty standard dump trailer. Yeah, it's Diamond C, is a little bit of a nicer brand, but this is a standard dump trailer. I have an engineered beam on mine too. I don't know if I've ever needed it, to be honest. Not on that trailer. So, I don't know. The name of the game also for us guys has changed. We're not needing to haul the most amount of weight. So when I first started this tree service, we worked with 1 or 2 guys. I did all the climbing, I did all the hauling. I was the only one with the Class A. Well, guess what? Now we have a few guys with Class A's and B's, and we don't need the big monsters anymore. We can take traditional equipment and go and make money. Before, and I've always said this, before, the thing that made me successful was I had an edge over everybody. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm saying I had the bigger dump trailer. I had the biggest chipper. I had, a good climbing ability. I had a good hustle. So that's how I made my money. But now we're in the rat race, I call it, and we're just bidding against other people. And it's really who can do the job first. And everyone's pricing is pretty similar. I mean, we still keep a competitive edge, but I don't need to have specialty equipment. I just need standard equipment now and having volumes of it. So this is our second dump trailer. You know what that means? 2 crews. So we got rid of our gooseneck. Our gooseneck usually sits right there. We traded that bad boy in because I'm not hauling 4 machines at once anymore. I used to have to haul the stump grinder, the small stump grinder, the mini skids. I used to have to haul 3-4 machines because I was the only one able to drive. So, yes, it is bittersweet getting rid of that gooseneck because it is cool. And I took it to Florida. I went to Hurricane Ian with it. I went to Evansville, Indiana with it. Or did I? I don't know. No, I took my dump trailer. I went to Evansville with I think I went with my dump trailer. Yeah, I went to Evansville with my other giant dump trailer. Actually, that one. And then, I took that gooseneck all over and did so much work with it. But the last year it's been sitting. It's because our business has evolved. So it's a good idea, to evaluate your business. So we can use this standard stuff. You don't always need the heaviest duty. And, it's like, okay, if we're hauling logs and man, we don't need to stack this thing with every log on the job. You know why? Because we have a bigger chipper. We have bigger chip trucks. We can always pop open the back of a chip truck and load logs. We can always haul logs in this one as well. We even haul logs on the tilt deck if we need space. I've shoved logs on the back of the chipper and strapped them down. There's so many options. You don't need to rely on one thing and build something out because these dealerships and companies, I mean, it's insane. These are 7,500 pound axles. If you want the 10Ks, it's literally $6,000 more for the 10K axles. And it's why? So a huge thing is, let me close this out. We went with these spring axles. Straight axles with springs are way stronger than any torsion axle. I've had nothing but issues with torsion axles, so springs are the way to go. If anything breaks, usually a spring is the weak point. So you know what? You go to a spring shop and you have them replace a spring or a bolt or a shackle. And you know what? It's only, I don't know, $200, $300, $400 at the most. If you need a new axle, they're $1,200 a pop, $1,500 a pop. Not too bad. Let me show you over here what we got over here. Right here lies 2 10K axles that cost me $5,100 to replace. All because the axle tube's fine. That wishbone is bent. And that's what happens on torsion axles, guys. The wishbone, I call it, or that thing, bends. They're non-serviceable, non-replaceable. So, honestly, and they ride like junk. Torsion axles ride like junk. I think companies were pushing torsion axles so bad because, in all reality, there are more moving parts here. They have to make sure their welders line these up properly so you can get the alignment done. And there's probably more components for them to deal with in the assembly lines. That's it. Springs ride better. And springs ride better. They give better. If you hit a pothole, it's not the end of the world. The other downside to springs, I guess, is they sit up like 3 inches higher. But like I said, not the end of the world. I mean, if 3 inches is going to cause you that much conflict, I mean, like, come on, guys. So we're happy with this purchase, and I want to show you guys our thoughts on what we do, because everyone knows I've had custom dump trailers sent from Texas Pride, from Diamond C, directly from them. So this is like kind of the standard. This is what we like. A heavier axle upgrade would be nice, or a tri-axle. We actually kind of wanted a tri-axle, but this is fine. A tri-axle would have been kind of nice, but less maneuverability and more weight for the truck to tow. I don't care if it's rolling, it's still a little bit more weight. So overall, you're going to use it, you're going to abuse it. If you ever want to upgrade and reinforce it, take it to a weld shop. It'd be very cheap. It'd be very, very rewarding to do. Alrighty, guys. Peace out.